Okay.
Oh, yeah. I was there for the release of Destiny, which was one of the biggest releases I've ever seen in my life, besides Halo. And I mean, as I was playing it, because I usually do my research before I even start to play a game all the
Hmm.
time. I make sure I do my research. If they have a storyline, a plot, blah blah blah, whatever. So by me not doing that and actually playing Destiny,
Hmm.
I didn't enjoy it a lot because for one, it was very repetitive. It
Hmm.
had no storyline. It had no meaning at all whatsoever. It was just like a run and gun. You shoot the aliens. For what reason?
Wow.
You trying to save the Earth,
Hmm.
obviously,
Yeah.
and you just building up your character and you just making him stronger or whatever. So to me, it was like I said, you just running around in the same spots. Venus, Mercury, Mars, Earth. They got this level called Crucible where you just like a running gun or whatever. So I mean, I had to take it back. I took it back after a week, maybe a week and a half. I took it back and traded it in and got Madden. And then once I got Madden, 2K15, and then I was at another release for The Evil Within, which I give
Hmm.
two thumbs way up. So
I heard that game's a little real, like a little real, real.
now see that has a story. You play a detective, John. Don't ask me to pronounce his last name, but it's a Spanish last name.
Hmm.
And what it is, you're working a homicide case,
Yeah.
and I don't want to give away the whole story,
Hmm.
but the thing is, it's like you don't know if you're crazy
Hmm.
or if everything that's happening is real.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it's up to it's like your mind is playing tricks, and you actually live in this reality or fantasy with this dude. So everything that's happening,
Wow.
something can grab him, and all of a sudden it'll disappear like that, and you'll end up in another area or
Wow.
another space. So
That's crazy.
it's creepy, but it's real good. It's real good. Real
It's
good.
like a real good, like I don't know if you watch Bleach, but it's like a real good anime, but it has that dark side of it that
Have you ever played Have you ever played Fear? It's a video game called. It's a mixture of. Well, the guy that originally made Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil, made
Mhm.
this game.
Oh.
So you have a mixture of Resident Evil,
Mm.
Silent Hill,
Mm.
Fear, and what's the game with Big Daddy? The
I'm
little.
not a I'm not a gamer. I don't know.
Well, it's like four games in one. Four games in one. So
Okay.
I give it got a lot of good reviews,
Yeah.
and it got an 8.7 out of 10 stars. So
Yeah.
it's real good. It's real good.
Cool. See, that is awesome because I know a lot of people are playing Destiny right now. Uh, here's the mistake I made because I
Uh,
was being lazy one day. So my fiance wanted to wanted to play Destiny, and I was like, let me, she was talking about GameStop, so I was like, I'm in the bed, I'm watching something. I'm like, I really don't feel, I'm gonna get it, but I want a way to get it where I don't really have to get out. Like I was not leave the house mood.
yeah.
So I was like, man, let me go ahead and just get this on the PSN and just download it, right?
Uh-huh.
So being lazy. So now she played it, and I mean, people are talking about the graphics are beautiful,
It
but
is.
she was like, as a first person shooter, she's not really that type of gamer. She likes stuff like similar to Drake, Uncharted stuff.
Uncharted, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Uncharted 4 is supposed to drop sometime next year, so
Okay, so
fingers
that
crossed.
so four is coming out next year. Cool.
Hmm.
So I mean, like it's great that you gave that the opinion of that game because she's like I don't really like it,
Yeah.
and I can't trade it in, right?
Yeah.
I can't recoup any of that. So
I mean, she can always go, GameStop, they have their credits, and you can always trade it in and get a game that you want. I could tell you a game that she will really, really like if she's into like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter type games, like fantasy and
yeah,
magical games. The
okay.
Shadows of Mordor. I guarantee
The
she will love that game.
Shadows of Mordor.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, she like that game.
Yeah, yeah. She says so. Yeah. So, all right. let's not upset the viewers by
Okay.
talking about video games, but that was great input. Man, that was awesome. Karon Brown. So right into it. We're live. Been live. So we got on what was today? I'm slipping. I'm slipping. What is today? Woo, the
17.
17th of October, 2014. This is This Mobile World. I'm Charlie Maverick and co-host Karon Brown. Get
So,
down. Yo, how you doing?
man, I'm good, man. Had a pretty good week. Short week.
Hmm.
On this new schedule, 4:10s and Fridays also. I pretty much enjoyed it. I pretty much enjoy my work time now.
Yeah,
So it's not bad at all. And kids growing up, doing good in school. So all is well, man. Can't complain at all whatsoever.
that is a blessing going like that, you know, that stableness in this crazy world,
Yeah,
which
man.
that was plug because that's the other show, which
Hmm.
I only got a couple of episodes on that one. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, happy that you're doing so well, being blessed and everything. We should go right into it because we have a lot to cover, and this show can go, Google extended 13 straight hours or plus than that. So we need to. I got to try to get the thing on iTunes, so
Please.
we need to just roll through it and get less than an hour and a half.
Okay.
We got a lot to pack in, man.
All right.
So, huh, I didn't even have to write down any notes. I should have, just in case I'm scatterbrained and I just forget. But there's so much,
Nah, don't do that. Don't do
so
that.
much. We got it. There is so much that came through. We got it. Um, Yo, first, let's talk about the elephant in the room. And I'm not talking about the Nexus 6 yet, but let's talk about the elephant in the room that we really kind of talked about the specs and whatnot, but we didn't talk about it since it dropped, what, a week and a half ago, something like that. The infamous, the notorious iPhone
Oh,
siblings.
okay.
So I've been watching CNET. They're really biased. I've been watching, Android. Even the Android Central's had to bring up the iPhone because it's that big in culture. So you have
Hmm.
to talk about it no matter what. Even though Android statistically has more users,
Hmm.
you still gotta talk about that no matter what,
Right.
because that's what the flock knows, dude. People here have gone batshit over the iPhone. Just like on that stupid Sprint commercial where the ladies outside at the party and they scream so loud about the iPhone that they break glass.
Hmm.
People are batshit crazy about the iPhone. So I know you use the iPhone 5S, right?
Correct.
You kind of like straddle the fence. So I give you a lot of shit because you go back and forth from Android to iOS,
Hmm.
and you use iOS. Now I use iOS for work, so I get can't do have my social networks or anything on there like that because I don't want that's just job owned. They're monitoring that, so I can't get the full brunt of how I can use Apple because I'm not going to put my personal stuff on there.
Correct.
Um, and you use iOS, and so being that we have different uses for iOS, you leisure, me business. How do you feel about the new 6 and 6 Plus?
Well, I mean, basically, it's a brother and sister. It's Apple. I feel that to me, it's still the same. It's a beautiful phone.
Mm.
Like I've stated before, uh, it's very light, slim. I've actually went to stores and actually held it and actually messed around with it or whatever. It's a really nice phone, slick, smooth. Um, the plus is very big. If you have some users out there with Notes, type of phablet phones, LG G3, the Note, so on and so forth, the Sony Xperia, whatever have you. It's a big phone. It's a huge phone,
Huge.
but at the same
Yes.
time, it's not. Uh, it's different because yes, it's Apple, and Apple has always strayed away from using phablet type phones, if you will.
Mhm.
And they felt like, hey, we need to go ahead, we need to catch up, and we need to catch up quick because if you notice, every year, every time Apple puts out a new iDevice, it's small. They never
Yeah.
exceeded 4.5. They never exceeded 4.5. Now they're doing 4.7.
They had the
And,
culture about using it one-handed.
mhm.
That was the thing that they promoted.
Right, and now they have this little thing where you double tap the home button and the screen just shrinks itself down in
Yeah,
order
what
for
is
you
that?
to yeah in order for you to use it for one hand. Dude, it's still you're still 9 times out of 10. Who is actually going to do that? Who is actually in their right mind going to
Yeah,
notice?
so Samsung has the same feature.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if it just came out in this version or if it was in the three, but they have the feature where you can slim it down to the smaller things so you can use it to calculate. So I think they had that since the two, because
Right.
I think I remember that from having mine for a
Hmm.
short amount of time that I
And
did.
mine as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean they do the same thing. So they stole from they I guess they need a reference point. So they didn't have a reference point.
Hmm.
So when they made the first note, they didn't really do anything drastic. The note 2
No.
came out, they started doing that really crazy like, "Oh yeah, we're trying to get you from iOS. We got this big ass phone. People have little hands. Asians have little hands. Women primarily don't have big ass hands to hold this phone like LeBron
Exactly.
James.
Exactly.
So they had to be like, okay, we want to steal you. We want to make this big ass phone for the Koreans, which is known for they have big ass phones because they don't have the money to buy the tablets and the phones. I brought this
Right.
up to you a couple of times.
Hmm.
So they have to have this all-in-one device. They have to have this one-handed use, and they have to have the need for a bigger screen when they need a bigger screen.
Right.
So they were like, okay, we make these big ass phones. We see the people that Apple are talking about. I need to do one-handed use. So what did Samsung do? They made the section where you could use it with one hand. So Apple was like, well, if we make a bigger ass phone now, we can't fail because let's do the same thing. So guess what? There was the whole patent thing with Samsung and Apple. How much money did Apple have to pay Samsung for them to say, okay, let's stop this whole thing? Because Samsung was winning, but Apple was like, yo, I think y'all got better lawyers this time. And y'all are going to eventually win this suit because Apple sued Samsung first, and they were going back and forth. So Apple was like, you know what? Y'all got better lawyers. We're gonna win. We're gonna lose this case. Let's strike a deal.
Right.
We got Steve Jobs is gone. Let's go ahead and make a bigger iPhone, and then make it so that people that went to Samsung because they can do all that,
Hmm.
and their whole thing was I need to wait until my contract's over so everybody reads up on their iPhones. So their next contract was like that everybody was going to the iPhone. I got a coworker he was for 2 years this dude was talking about it last year. He was like, man, if they don't make it bigger, I'm leaving. I'm going to get a
And a
new.
lot of people have been saying that. Everybody says that. And the only thing is, when they change, like 1 year it was okay when the iPhone first came out, what, '07?
Hmm.
When it came out, it was like the most amazing thing in the world. Then the next one that came out, it was the same way. The next one that came out, it was the
Yeah.
same way. The next one that came out, it was the same way. Then they started adding notifications.
Yeah.
They couldn't do widgets, so
Nope.
notification was the best thing in the whole world. But
Whole world.
they did not say anything about the size until
Right.
last year. That's when people started complaining. I wish the phone was a little bigger, but it's a beautiful phone. Exactly.
It's a beautiful phone.
Yeah, dude, it's the
It's like
most
jewelry. Like they made it like jewelry. I never
dude.
after when they made the four, when they made the four, I was like, this is like jewelry. But before then, and you know what? You know what pisses me off really? It pisses me off about Apple fanboys. These people were on Android first. Though the AT&T only had the iPhone AT&T only had the iPhone. I mean, for a long time. So if you weren't on AT&T, you couldn't get an iPhone. I
Right.
think until like the 4. So the 4 came to Verizon, and that Verizon, and then what Verizon gets it, everybody gets it.
Oh
So
man.
so everybody was like, I'm on a BlackBerry or I'm on an Android. When Android first, they were trying to jump from BlackBerry like the sinking ship, and you know why? They sucked. So I bought the Storm. The Storm 2 sucked. I jumped ship to the first Android phone I can get. And the reason why I did it is because Apple sucked at the time,
Hmm.
and with their they tried aluminum. That thing was trash. It got all scratched up like an old like nickel in war.
Hmm.
And then they had the plastic with the three no with the iPhone 3G
3GS.
in the 3GS. That
Uh-huh.
bullshit. That
Right.
bullshit. And I had a BlackBerry at the time. I had the BlackBerry Bold 9000.
Man, I love that phone. I don't
That
care. I
was
don't care what nobody say. I love that phone.
one of the best phones ever, hands
Yes,
down.
sir.
People,
Yes,
people,
sir.
I want you. If dude,
Yeah.
if you're too young to have had it, that phone will go down to his that BlackBerry dude with
Hmm.
the faux leather back.
Yep.
You couldn't tell me that wasn't leather though. I'm just
No,
saying.
see, you know what? The only thing I wish, and I don't mean to get off subject, that BlackBerry had, if they would have pushed it more as far as uh apps.
They should have let them put Android on that.
You think so?
Maurice, shout out to Maurice Miller. Maurice Miller said, and this dude is funny, but he says some real stuff. If they put Android on BlackBerry, all in, all in, because they already had the hardware.
They had the hardware and they had what everybody wanted, which was the mail server.
Yes,
And everybody always wanted their email. If that's why people are drawn to BlackBerries because of their email servers. The email servers are
yes,
like top notch.
that's all they got.
Yeah, nobody can beat it. But if you put Gmail and Google search and everything in that, dude, BlackBerry will be on top now. They will be on top.
They'll correct. I mean, Yahoo Mail, MSN, whatever, Microsoft, whatever, same
Yep.
thing. Over, Bing, done. If they put that in that, I think the FCC or who the they will never let Google buy BlackBerry, and I think they made a deal with the devil himself to say iOS, you block however you can
Mhm.
to make sure
Google.
that Google does not buy BlackBerry. So who did they find? Look, we ain't even supposed to talk about this, but this is real stuff. Who did they find as a company that made their screens? They get the parts from Samsung. And who could Microsoft buy to find or Apple? Sorry, Apple to find than to find Samsung that made the iPhone parts. Find Samsung and say, hey, before Google has a chance to get on BlackBerry, steer them a little bit for the Koreans.
Yeah.
That Korean company will do what they are doing some crazy stuff in technology, and Google's all about that. But BlackBerry had Mike Lazaridis, and he was old thinking. He couldn't keep up. And he dug a hole deep for BlackBerry.
Hmm.
BlackBerry always had the hardware, but the software you were like, I want more. I
Yeah.
mean, but it was better than Palm, but it wasn't better than Palm. It was easier to use, but it wasn't better.
And it
And
had one of the best keyboards. Even today, BlackBerry they have, if not the best keyboards
yes,
out there. You know what
so
I'm saying? And we're talking QWERTY keyboard, ladies and gentlemen. We're not talking about touchscreen. We're talking about QWERTY. They have one
yes,
of the best QWERTY keyboards out there right now to date.
yes, and the BlackBerry had the hardware,
Hmm.
and Apple, they and Microsoft and
They put a
BlackBerry
hustle
and
on
Google. It was a war. It was a
everything. Yeah.
it was a war to keep. this smartphone advancement, all this that we have right now is from the most valuable company in the world, not oil company, not the oil company where you would think because they rape us all the time on gas, but not the oil company, but the most valuable company in the world,
Mhm.
Apple, trying to keep the other creeping most valuable company in the world. It's not Coca-Cola, it's Google.
Right.
Those two Silicon Valley greatest companies were at war. And guess what? Apple was like, I'm not going to let Google get that final blow and get that hardware. Google just need the hardware because Google can't make hardware. I'm sorry. Google does not make hardware. That's not what they do. They stay in their lane. They do software, nothing else. They're not Microsoft. They're not
Okay.
trying to do anything like that.
We'll touch on that. We'll
Yeah,
touch on that in a
we'll
minute.
touch on it in a minute.
Yeah.
But stay with us, people. Man, this is about the craziest show ever. We are. I hope millions of people see this. This is prophecy, people. I'm telling you. Me and K. Ron about to go in deep.
All right. Waiting on
So
you.
I'm wordy a lot. I'm wordy. So you had Google, Apple together, boom, at war in the same town, and then Steve Jobs was like, and then the leader of I can't ever remember Andy Rubin was the leader, and then they were like, oh, who's gonna wage the war? So Apple was like, hey, Samsung, go and give everything to Google, and Google lost their sight, and they didn't care about. They had hardware. They had the hardware people. Motorola was trying to keep up, so they got the Droid. Samsung got in the game a little late, but they made a better phone basically. But it was cheaper and everything. Samsung knows how to push that product. They know how to push that product. So Google put everything. They loved Samsung. HTC was the one that had it was the HTC was supposed to be the golden child,
Mhm.
the Asian company supposed to distract you know Google from BlackBerry. So they had all these top notch HTC, Google, I mean sorry, Samsung make all their phones, and then but Apple just rose to the top because they had room for that develop. That whole thing had to develop because the G1 sucked.
Okay,
Uh,
it was the first Android phone.
I know, but Apple had a
And
couple of
what
years
what
up
was
on it.
it? What was
Apple
it?
had a couple of years on it because Samsung took so long, HTC took so long to make a phone.
Okay, it was what? Chocolate Eclair? It was Eclair or something like that?
Yeah, was it Eclair? Yeah, Eclair.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, what? Yeah, donuts
Like
sucked.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, I remember.
But
Oh,
you gotta think
oh,
about it. You gotta think about it though. It was their first their
no
first
cupcakes.
Android phone. It was their first Android phone. So you gotta think about it. How
Yeah,
how things progress from that time
and it went
to now.
fast.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but Apple still had the knowledge base. I mean, because the iPod. People are already in iTunes. So they're like, ooh, I get iTunes now. I have all my music. At that time, in 2007, you had all your music in iTunes. Everybody did.
Right.
You didn't have it just anywhere. You had it in iTunes.
Mhm.
So people was like, ooh, I can have all my phones and all the stuff I got from iTunes and have a working phone with it. That's just genius. Because I spent so much money with American Idol and all that. I'm just genius. I bought so much content off there instead of downloading because there was a war with the peer-to-peer stuff, LimeWire and all them. So Dr. Dre in the music business was like, the music business. See, Dr. Dre, U2, those two are fighting. Those two were the main people fighting for piracy, and now they're in bed with Apple. Oh man, oh man. So Apple had the game wrapped up already. All they had to do is make a working phone with an iPod. You see the iPod Touch,
Mhm.
iPhones always been so close in functionality, but way deeper in design. Because you just can't give them an iPod Touch with that looks just like an iPod Touch and it has a
Right.
radio and blah. But Dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
I'm all off track. Oh man. Oh
Well,
man.
come back on track. Come back
Oh,
on track.
come
Don't,
back
yeah,
on track.
come back, come back.
Man, history lesson. History lesson. Okay, let's go for it. So iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus. How do you that was a long time to get to that point, but how do you feel about the larger iPhones that they made? So the iPhone 6 4.7 inch screen, big between the old between this, and then the 5.5, which is the size of the Note 2. So how do you feel about jumping up two big sizes? Why did they have two big sizes? Were they scared?
No, I don't think they were. I don't think they were scared. I think, in my eyes, I think Apple playing it safe. It's a
Mm,
safety net because if I'm a woman, women out there, and I'm used to having a smaller phone, but a little bit bigger size, I can easily go to the six.
mhm.
But if I'm a person that had Android or like a phablet, or I want something a bigger phone, I can just get the six plus. But if you think about it, the six plus have been in high demand. Dude, there's so many people and there's so many women with the
Yeah.
six plus, man. It's just crazy. Me personally, I don't have any hard feelings toward either size phone. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Um, it's Apple's safety net. You can't knock on what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They know they got to play catch up. They know that, but it's what they're doing. Same as with their little uh, Apple Pay. Yes,
Mm.
Google has had Apple Pay for years, and
Ten, 11. Yeah.
it's not Google didn't push the envelope as hard, but it's like, yeah, Apple did their own thing with it as far as them being the only ones to be able to use that type of functionality with that phone, that Apple Pay.
Yeah.
Hence Apple Pay. I mean, it's not Google Wallet or
Right.
anything like that. Whereas if you get a Google phone or Android phone and you get Google Wallet, you can pay for everything with any Android phone. Apple phone, you gotta have an iPhone 6. There's nothing more to say about it. You gotta have an iPhone 6. We can't use it, obviously, because we don't have that functionality in this phone. But
Like functionally, they did that on purpose, like
right.
just to
And
keep you a little bit longer in warning.
exactly. And I posted something today on uh on my Google Plus account about Apple. Their Apple Pay is lifting off this coming Monday, and
Hmm.
the thing is, they're gonna. I think they're gonna, and I hate to say this, but I'm not biased at all, and I'm not an Apple fanboy, so let's just go ahead and clear the air right now. But will they mop the floor with Google? As far
Yes.
as that wallet, see, I didn't say that, y'all. I didn't say that. He did. I wanted to say it.
No,
I
no,
was
no, no,
thinking it, but
no.
you spoke for me.
Let me tell
I
you.
think I think they'll do it only because
Yes.
uh if you look at the people that in the nation,
Hmm.
and I want to say right now the majority of America
Hmm.
have iPhone devices. That's just me. I want to
Yes.
say there's a high percentage. I don't want to throw a number out there, but you think about the people that have iPhones. You think
Yes.
about all these stores,
Hmm.
Macy's, Bloomingdale's,
Yes.
J.C. Penney,
Yes.
all these,
Target's supposed to do it, right?
yeah, American Express,
Dude.
Discover, all these people that have credit cards, all these stores that accept credit cards. You gonna sit here and try to tell me that they're not right now? Okay, if I'm a store and I say, "Hey
Yeah.
y'all, Apple Pay, they're gonna go ahead and jump on Monday. We need to go ahead
Yes.
and update our system."
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yes. You got to do it. It's so funny you say that because I watch CNET reports and all that about this same story that and on the local news. I mean, they love Apple in this Atlanta local news. They
Yeah,
don't
man.
they don't like Android. But anyway, they were like all in. Like they're telling you, and that's all. They're telling you like if you are not in the It Club by Monday when this launches, you are gonna lose some money. Guess who got in bed like they did with Google Wallet? Because this company did adopt Google Wallet first.
Who?
amazing. First, McDonald's. When they adopted this shit, they were like, "Oh, we're all in." So we know we got these massive people. We got the Android people that really don't know about it, so nobody uses it. We invested in this technology because we thought we were going to be cool, but they were wrong. Then they were like, "Oh, we got to be first to market with one of the first to market with the iPhone because guess what? You use an iPhone, you're probably a person that goes to where McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably, I'm sorry, not offense, but you're a kind of hipster or hipster in denial if you have both and you
Right.
love both. Just like if you like Starbucks and you have an iPhone, you're the same person, maybe different age groups, but you're going to go in.
Well, stop right there. Hold on. Okay, you said Starbucks, but if you think about it, Starbucks and their cousin Dunkin' Donuts, they have the that little a card that you can buy. See,
Yes,
Apple, we have this thing called Passbook.
right.
You know what I mean?
I got it.
And uh, Android, they have a similar thing, but it's not a passbook. It's an app that you download and you put your little card number, and every time you put the money on there, you can hold the barcode up to their little scanner and they'll scan your phone, and
Mm-hmm.
you can pay with it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Apple makes everything so much cleaner. You know what I'm saying? With their simplicity and
Yeah.
everything like that. It's like and
Yeah, the
you
fingerprint scanner. When I heard about it, I was like,
Yeah, you
"What
don't
you
see a
gotta
lot of
do?"
people holding up an Android phone, paying with their phone on Android. You see more Apple flying in the air than anything else.
But here's the thing. Let's make a point right here because I realized today. At the end of the day, it does. What made me happy about the Apple news, like the adoption of it, which if you know me, I'm a part-time Apple hater, but I give props when props is due. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like irrelevantly biased.
Hmm.
So when Apple does something genius, and if at long last, I'm like, yes, people will know what we were having so much fun with Android with, and
But they
then
won't admit it. They won't. They
they
won't admit it.
they will not admit it because oh my gosh, it's giving me a headache. So put me back. So I lost my point. So Apple was like, "Yo, we need to get to market with this. Like McDonald's, like whoever's not in this game, they better get in the game." So what's going to happen Monday is there's going to be a revolution, and I posted this to Google Plus and Facebook. There's going to be a tap to pay revolution. Why? Not because this is the cooler thing to do. It is. And I'm breaking it down right now for y'all people. And there is a pandemic not only with Ebola. Ebola is the detour to the main strip of the fact that every week there is a new data breach to your financial institution. So the way that you scan your phone to pay at the register is 100 times safer than scanning your card, swiping your card. And it has an encrypted message. It doesn't send your card to their database. Like this is 1970s technology that they're using at the point of sale registers. So is it coincidence that at the height of this, every known big box company conglomerate has got hit with this data breach? Isn't it so funny? Isn't it very funny that Apple all of a sudden comes to market with something tap to pay with an encryption where they can't hack? It's like 3 to 4 levels of intrusion you have to go through. You won't get it. It doesn't show your card number no matter what.
Hmm.
Just like and they back this up because they can do it because of the fingerprint scanner, which doesn't scan your actual fingerprint. It
Right.
makes like a bit of data that
Hmm.
no one can make out. Total crazy encryption, like science fiction stuff, to where you can't hack that. On Monday, at the height of this, people are gonna buy into this. And what makes me so happy is that now people won't look at me like I'm a freaking walker on The Walking Dead when I try to tap to pay my Android phone. Like, I've done it numerous times. I did it like 2 weeks ago or something like that when I was with my boy out and we went to CVS and I tapped to pay to buy, I forget what I buy, something stupid. But I tapped to pay. Oh, no, I remember what I bought. But I tapped to pay and the lady at the register was like, "Ooh, what are you doing? I'm just going to stand here and agree with what you're doing, but I really don't understand what you're doing." Nobody does that. You are taking a chance, sir, to be made fun of in society.
But if you had an iPhone, she would have never said that.
Exactly. But you can identify that I didn't have an iPhone because it was so big.
Mm-hmm.
iPhones are always known to be petite. That's the identifier. So what I'm so happy about is now you have this adoption by the hipsters, the older people, the mainstream people, that they're going to buy into this because this is 100 times safer, and I hope they promote it. You don't understand. I hope that this goes through to where it gets to the point where you get better security on your payments so you don't get hacked, which is going to ruin your life.
Mm-hmm.
I think they set this up, and this is and Apple, the most valuable company in the world, can fork out the dollars to do crazy stuff like, let me throw people off so I can come to market with this bomb technology that was already being used for about 4 years.
Right.
They came to market with this thing and they were like, "Yo, boss, let's tap to pay." People are going to buy into this, and we're finally going to reap the benefits of it. Like, if you come back to Android, you're going to reap the benefits, dude.
And why do you say that?
Because you remember when you tried to tap to pay with your Galaxy Nexus?
And I did that, and it worked just fine.
But did people look at you funny?
Yeah, because they didn't know what I did or what I was doing. They asked, "What did you just do?" I said, "I paid with my phone." No, actually, I remember exactly what I did. When you and I first got these phones, because I believe we both got it at the same time.
Yes.
And I remember when you first sign up for Google Play, you got $10 credited to your Google account.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to Rite Aid, and I asked the girl. I said, "Can I pay with my phone?" Because I asked you because I was unaware of it working really well or anything. You like, "Dude, try it. I promise you it'll work. Just hold it up to the machine and it'll work." And I held the phone up to it, and it went beep. The transaction went right through, and she looked at me like I was crazy and said, "What did you just do?"
Yes.
I said I paid it with my phone. Mind you, now Google Nexus was the first phone to ever to be able to do that, and nobody knew.
No, it was the Samsung. It was the Nexus before that. They did it with that, but it was only on Sprint.
It sure was. I know what you're talking about. It was
Yeah.
It was a small Galaxy. It was a Nexus.
Nexus S.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it was like
Nobody bought it though.
Nobody bought it.
Nobody.
And nobody knew about this. Nobody knew about this function. It was just like we were probably like aliens walking around with these unknown devices, paying with our phone just by touching the little table on the thing. So now look at Apple. All you're gonna see in Walmart,
Yes.
CVS, Friday, people using it, and it's just like, y'all, this thing has been out for years. Where have you been?
Yes.
Why are you acting like, well, I didn't know about it? That's because you didn't open up your mind, or you didn't try to figure it out,
Yes.
or you didn't try to research and see what it's about. You was just walking around in your everyday life, just lollygagging. You know what I'm saying? As soon as Apple released this Apple Pay thing, you just think it's like heaven on earth. Whereas Google's had this thing for years, man.
Exactly.
So I just broke it down. That's all.
You did. Dude,
I,
I'm glad we're on the same page now. We're like on the same level. Oh man,
mhm.
oh man, oh man. I was worried we were going to be like off level,
Oh no,
but
I'm with you.
but this is crazy. This is crazy. But and and the thing is, they hit. Apple is so smart. Props when props is due. Yes, I'm talking like a black dude. I'm sorry, but it's coming out of me when I'm speaking the truth, dude. When Apple hit him with two because first they I am sure they paid some hackers to go in and infiltrate these systems. Nobody is reporting a mass case of like identity theft.
Hmm.
Then you got Lifehacker or LifeLock, which makes money off of making sure 100% you don't get your identity locked. I bet you there's a time with them, Apple, and everybody to be like, oh, we gonna have it make it seem like in the media that everybody's about to get their account hacked.
It's not gonna happen. I mean,
It doesn't happen.
you're not gonna get your account hacked. We
No.
we, we promise. We promise.
Yes, because look, if there's some fraudulent charges on your card and you did really get your account hacked,
Then it's on
your
you.
bank is set up to believe you
Hmm.
while they investigate and make sure that this is an actual fraudulent charge.
Right.
So your money will be out the account for that time that you realize is out when you at the register and you embarrass yourself, that when you find out that you've been hacked, that you like, oh, why am I there's a decline and you call and they're like, oh, I didn't spend that. They give you the credit back, people. So nobody's reporting that. I haven't seen it. We're talking about Ebola, right? They sidetracked that, right? Why
Yeah.
why are these two crazy things going on at the same time? Oh, we're going Bill Marsh right here, but
End of the world. End of the world, man.
yo, so what they came out with this, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna hit them with it." So everybody's going to buy into this, and and that's where they hit him the first time. But then all the people that wanted to go to Samsung because just of the screen size, and we're gonna hit on this twice on the two other phones. We were talking about the iPhone a long ass time, but we
Hmm.
have to because all these this is the Genesis faux Genesis because they weren't really the first smartphone, but they got hold of you. So you have all the people that wanted to go to Samsung, right? Because the phone was bigger, but they can use it if they got small hands. Apple's like, F that. Let's go get them back. We need Android phones are the highest percentage phones used in the U.S. And just a couple of years ago, we had that, but we didn't have to worry about BlackBerry. BlackBerry was falling off. We got Google looking at Samsung for long term, and then they're going after this thing, so they're not pushing devices as quickly as they could have got with BlackBerry. So
Hmm.
they were like, "Yo, let's come out with a bigger phone." Yeah, that has tap to pay. Yeah, that the Note could already do. It was big. You can use it with one hand if you needed to, and it already did tap to pay.
They didn't call it, but see, the thing is, it was never called tap to pay. The only thing
This
was
is true.
the only thing that it said in the features, if you read it, because every time you buy these phones, besides the iPhone, if you buy all these Android devices, it will tell you on the back of the box all the features that's on that phone, the display size,
Mhm.
the S, even the S down to the S Pen, and it will say in big bold letters NFC functionality. That's all it'll say. It won't say anything else. It's just going to say
Right.
NFC. Now, people be like, well, what's NFC? All they're going to tell you is near field communications. Some people will tell you exactly what exactly that does. Some
Mhm.
people won't because some people don't know exactly what that is. Oh, well, I'm not going to use it anyway.
Uh, preach.
Now, Apple comes out with this Apple Pay. So, What is NFC? Near field communications. What exactly is that going to do? Help you pay for things. It's going to let you. It's going to hold on now. It's going to let you pay for things.
Yes.
Huh. That's interesting. I might have to try that out. See where I'm going?
It's hilarious.
That's just, to me, that's just how I would do it if I was in that person's shoes, and that's how I feel that people are saying right now, this very moment, as to how this NFC slash Apple Pay goes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
you know, it is what it is. You know.
But we get our just due.
Huh?
We get our just due because here's the thing that we got as Android people, like, hey Android lovers, Android fanboys, because they are just as hardcore as Apple fanboys.
They're just not. You know what? I'm glad you said that because, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I got to get this out.
Make sure I get back though.
Okay, Apple fanboys are more outspoken
Mm-hmm.
than Android fanboys. Android fanboys are not as vocal, and it's weird. It's really weird. People, you talk bad about an iPhone, you could read comments on YouTube, comments on Pocket Now, CNET.
Oh man, they curse you out. They were death threats, man.
Man, Apple people are crazy, man. I didn't know. I never knew it was like that.
Android people are just as bad, dude.
But I've never seen one. I've never seen one.
Join the Android community. I will send you an invite. Those dudes are harsh. Like,
okay.
Oh, crazy. But why is it like that? Oh my God, it doesn't make sense. I think we're gonna make full circle. Get me back to where I was though. Get me back to where I was. I have no idea. You made too much sense. But the crazy thing, no, we're gonna get our just due because of the fact that we can actually. I got back. Okay, so when they go back to the register, right? And they're having problems and they're feeling a little awkward because they don't know how many iPhone people have been using this on Monday. Like I woke up, I just got to the store like 2 o'clock on my lunch, late lunch, and then I wonder how many people use this in the morning. Ooh, I wonder if I will look awkward. So you have those people that don't know, and they're at the register, and they feel like we did when it first came out. Like, who the heck are they gonna look at me like I'm on what is it? American Horror Story, the side whatever, the crazy whatever show. So they're gonna look at you like you're a freaking clown from the circus, and then and you are a total geek. Like I have a smartwatch on, let's get my phone. And, no, the first time we felt like people are gonna judge us, then we could jump in. We could jump in. This is an opportunity. No, we could jump in, and we're like, hold on, this is how you do it, girl. Right there.
No.
Hey man, chill out. I got you, dog. Boom. That's my dog. You just made a friend.
CL, you know what's gonna happen? This is exactly what's gonna happen because I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna happen because this is true. I promise you, there's gonna be that one person. No, how about this? When that thing drops on Monday, everybody's gonna want to use it, but they want to see who's going to use it first.
Exactly.
I'm not going to use it until you use it. When I see you use it, then.
But that's the same fate that we had. That is the exact fate that we had, though.
Dude, I didn't have the only doubt I had was that it wasn't going to fail on me.
It did a couple. Okay, it failed at me at Walgreens. I did before the CVS. I did go to the Walgreens. Was it in? What was that Walgreens at? Was it here or was it was still in Charleston? But it was recently. I went in there and I'm like, let me just give you my card because it did fail that time. And I wrote a post about that, pissed off, and people were like, oh, yeah, it's working for me. So the inconsistency with it was the one thing. So you never knew it was gonna work.
Right.
So you were scared. Yeah, it's the same thing that we felt, and we're gonna go in there like heroes. The unsung heroes of society, the nerds.
Because you're gonna because when I said they're gonna wait, somebody like you have say you have 5 people ahead of you. No, how about this? Let's say you got behind you with iPhone 6s, okay? Apple pages drop, but they consciously they know about it, but they're not going to do anything about it yet until they see us use it. I have an Android phone that's capable. You have an Android phone that's capable. So what do? We pay with it with our phones. The people
Mhm.
behind us are like, "How do you do that?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, what kind of phone do you have?" He
Right.
pulled out an iPhone 6. I'm like, okay, is that an iPhone 6 or iPhone 5S? I have a 6. Huh. Well, you guys are capable of doing it. Have you tried it yet? No, I haven't. Well, I'm gonna show you
Mhm.
how to do it.
Right.
When you pay for your food, step outside the line and I'm gonna walk you through it.
Boom.
Android helping out Apple,
That, will we finally get love?
where we finally get love.
Will dude? This is like liberation. Oh,
It's
like
crazy, man.
the little things. But the crazy thing is, Apple and Google are still going at it. Like not right at each other, because they're going at Samsung, because Samsung was not they steered them to Samsung. They steered Google to Samsung to stay away from BlackBerry, but they didn't think Samsung and Google were going to get so friendly and then sell all these devices.
See what you're doing right now. Maybe I'm wrong. It sounds to me is that you're putting Google, Samsung, and Apple against each other when it's only Samsung and Apple. They're brands. Google is not a brand.
Google is a brand.
But
No.
Samsung is its own brand.
You know what I say Google is a brand now, because they have Android commercials. I don't know if you
With
watched.
the Nexus devices, you mean?
No. I don't know if you watched last night's game,
No, I didn't. Are we
but they
talking the
had
baseball game or the football game?
the football game.
No, I
They
didn't.
had at least 10 runs of the same Android commercial. Not no phone, no specific phone in there. They didn't even really show phones to where you can tell, like, if you're you can like spot it, but the normal person can't tell the exact device that they're using. Like, they had a smartwatch, a phone, a tablet. You really couldn't. I think they had a Chromebook in there or something, a Chromecast, but it moved so fast, it was just like life. And then they were like, Android different, and they had this whole and campaign, like the Android, but this and it's all people together. Then they had this like Androidify app. I don't know if you use that, but it's like the people look like androids. They had a commercial with them talking about we're the same but we can be different, stuff like
I
that.
never seen that commercial. No.
Please go watch it, dude. They are a brand now. That's why I say that it's still Google and Apple, but Microsoft is back there with that stupid ass Bing, and we don't know what you're doing. But Microsoft is warring everybody. Nobody likes Microsoft, so you know,
No.
Microsoft.
You have a few Microsoft people out there, and no disrespect to them at all whatsoever. I don't hate on nobody, but you have your few Microsoft carriers out there, and you also have Microsoft who are doing their promoting. And if you haven't noticed, on these TV shows, shout out to Flash, shout out to Gotham, shout out to Arrow. These guys are using Microsoft as uh, their operating systems
Yeah.
in these shows. Windows is winning in these shows.
Yep.
If see, I'm a heavy. See, I used to be big on Smallville. Not to get off subject, but I'm getting. It's going to point me right back into what we're talking about. But I was a heavy Smallville watcher. They concentrate a lot on Sprint. I was a heavy
Mm.
24 watcher.
Yes.
Concentrate a lot on Sprint.
I can relate to that.
If you look at Arrow and the character Felicity, their whole operation is ran through Windows.
Yes. Yeah.
She uses a Lenovo PC computers. So you can't knock Microsoft because they're under the microscope, believe it or not, and they're doing it in a clever way. You're not seeing people use Android. I stand corrected. Supernatural. They're using Android. My man Sam Winchester. I don't mean to be calling out people with characters, but I want to. All right? Don't knock me.
Oh, shows that I don't know.
But exactly. But he had. But see, what I'm getting to is he was using the HTC One M8
Product placement, yeah.
product placement. And the
Yeah.
thing is, I pinpoint these devices in these shows because I pay attention. I don't know if it's the tech geek in me or what.
I want to point out something to you. Remember when Tony Soprano had a BlackBerry and then he switched over to an iPhone and everybody started getting
They're using an iPhone.
There you go. There you go. Just right there. Product placement.
Yeah, and these people, like I said, and like you said, you just knocked Microsoft. Nobody likes Windows, but hey,
But they still use it.
they're using it under the microscope, and you won't know it because the back of the phone looks like what we use today. If you take like the HTC One M8, they have a Windows model and they have an Android model.
Yep.
So how you distinguish between the two unless I face it towards you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
you can't.
under the microscope, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know,
It is what it is. I mean, but these companies are going at it. I mean, really, they're going at it. So let's get up off the iPhone. The iPhone. Look, as you said, going back to what you said about the guys, like in they're ordering the 6 and not the 6 Plus, and the women that are ordering the 6 Plus. So we got this tall black guy at my job, and he has the 6, and then this smaller Caucasian woman, not to do gender or slight race, but it's a demographic. She's going for the 6 Plus, and I'm like, I totally expected her to say the 6 because I hear dudes walking around and they're like, man, that 6 Plus is just too big. And then women are like, oh man, I want the 6 Plus. And then that's what happened with the Note 2. It wasn't us dudes buying the Note first. No, it was females.
yeah.
You saw females with them big ass phones that like just take out of their purse because they didn't have to have a tablet and a phone. Boom. They
That's
just,
the whole world.
and then they made those wallet cases for the females to keep it in there. Dude, Apple had no choice. Apple had no choice. They had to make that big phone. But I totally understand. But going into that, big phones. The Note 4, which today is the launch day of it.
Yes, it is.
Glad we caught it because we're just going on. Today is the launch day on Friday the 17th, right?
Right.
Okay. The Note 4 dropped. Now, Mr. Herb Joyner, you can find him on Google Plus also. He went and got the Note 4, which was like before this weekend. The iPhone 6 Plus was alright, but people wanted that Note 4. But we'll get to that other phone later. The Note 4, this big behemoth, this juggernaut. Shout out to what is his name? The dude on Twitter, that's from Charleston, that got really famous on the Samsung commercials. Oh man, what is his name? Oh, what is his name? I
don't remember.
Oh man, I followed him and we started talking and stuff. But there was a guy from Charleston that everybody recognized on Facebook that his tweet made it on the Samsung commercial. So this was, I mean, they took normal people from Twitter and then they put it in their commercials. They had Android Central on there. They were smart and they hit every aspect because they saw a normal person, not a celebrity, say that they love this phone. The iPhone 6 Plus, doesn't that look like the Note from 2012? Stuff like that. And people were like, oh snap.
That was a shot.
That's a shot. Yo, so people were still like, I'm going for that 4. I want the Note 4. People that have the Note 3, they're like, man, I want the Note 4. And Herb is one of the people that got the Note 4. Sorry, name dropping, but advertising. Nice guy. So, the feds ain't looking for him. I hope. Not. But so so dude, they had to do it. They went balls to the wall. They were like, screw this, man. Let's get our people back.
Mhm.
And the Note 4, the juggernaut, for the last 3 years, well,
Big
this
Daddy.
third year, the Big
Big
Daddy
Daddy.
has bigger badass. He is the Godzilla, the Muhammad Ali of Android contenders.
For now, we'll see. For now.
For now,
Hmm.
Samsung. Oh, how do you feel about the Note 4? This guy.
Well, I mean, once again, going back, I mean, it's a pretty phone. I haven't seen it in person yet. I was about to go. I was about to go by T-Mobile this afternoon when I ran out a few minutes ago to check the phone out in person to see exactly what it looked like. But you know, I really can't say too much about it. Uh, the only thing is it's an actual metal phone. It's a metal. They finally made it a metal phone. It's not a cheap plastic
Mm-hmm.
phone or anything like that. My biggest irritation about that phone, and I spoke to CL about it. I said is I can't stand TouchWiz. I cannot stand it. Um, I wish one day that they would come out with a what do they call it? A Google Edition Note.
But hold on. Remember that, people. Remember he said that. Remember he said that. Oh
Because no, hold on,
man,
because
you getting it?
they just announced the S5 um, will be coming with the Google Edition phone. Because I spoke with somebody on Google Plus, and we were going back and forth. I can't, you know what? It wasn't somebody. It was I want
They
to say
weren't. They weren't somebody.
no. It was a big time. It was a big time company.
I think they were
I
somebody.
cannot. Yeah, it's a big time company, and it kind of shocked me because they were communicating with me, and I'm just like, look, I'm just a little, I'm a nobody, you know. But I think I made some valid points, and I had some legit questions,
Ah,
and
yeah.
I think it was on a post I did on the Note 4,
Mm.
and I said something about TouchWiz, and I said if only they came out with a Google Edition Note, and they shot back and said they don't think that it will ever happen,
Hmm.
because something, something, something. And then I said, well, you got the Galaxy
Hmm.
S4,
Hmm.
the Galaxy Now S5.
Mm-hmm.
You had the HTC, these HTCs that come up with the Google Edition.
No,
So
nobody bought them.
why can't the Note? Because
They cost too much. They
well,
cost
yeah.
too
But
much.
the thing
And
is, I figure if the Note comes with a Google Edition,
mm-hmm.
and the S5 comes obviously because it's come with a Google Edition,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have to deal with this TouchWiz. And
No, but you have to. You have to. That's Samsung. That's the deal that they had. Let's do this. Skip.
but no, but at the same time, you get the updates on time. And if people
Hold
who
on,
know
hold on,
me,
hold on, hold
if
on, hold on,
people
hold on.
wait,
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 wait, wait,
if
wait,
people
wait,
who
wait.
know
Hold
me,
on. Remember this point, people. Updates. Go.
all right, and people who know me, when it comes to Android, I have to have my updates. That's my thing. That's why I
Amen.
can appreciate Apple. I
Yes.
can appreciate Apple because, and I don't mean to go back to Apple because we left them, but I have to bring them back. When
You
when
have to.
T-Mobile iPhone gets an update, Verizon, Sprint,
Mhm.
AT&T,
Yep.
PCS,
Yes.
uh, Cellular World,
Yes.
everybody gets that same update.
Same day.
Remember, same day, a couple of weeks ago, when
Might
I
break your phone, but you'll get it.
yeah, iOS 8 dropped. Okay, everybody got the update. When iOS 8 dropped, iOS 8.1 dropped.
Yep.
Everybody had a problem with 8.1.
Yep.
The next day,
But they
the
got it.
next
The
day,
next day.
8.2,
Yes.
8.2 dropped. No problem since.
It,
So,
yep.
ladies and gentlemen, what I'm saying is Android, Samsung, needs to come with a uh, a Google Edition phone because
They won't, they won't do it.
I
Not
feel
with the
that
Note.
with Android L coming out soon, I think that everyone gets the same update because if y'all haven't paid attention, if y'all didn't pay attention to Charlie, he held up his new 2014 edition Moto X.
We'll
He
get to
was
that. We'll get to that.
right. He was slick about it,
We'll get to
but
that.
y'all probably didn't pay attention to it because y'all were like, oh well, that's just the same phone. It's not the same phone.
Oh, it's not.
The
God
reason
have mercy, it's not.
anyway, but the reason why I say that is because when he gets the update to 5.0, I feel that the Google Editions phone will also be getting this 5.0 update. That's my take on it. And the reason why I say TouchWiz will not be on the Note 4 Google Edition phone is because Google has their hands in it.
Mm.
That's the way I feel. Because if you look at an image of the Google Edition Galaxy S4,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like Nexus 5 front.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It doesn't have that TouchWiz skin on it.
Right.
That's where I'm getting at.
Yes.
So it's a beautiful phone. You know, I just feel that I won't be purchasing it because all the gimmicks and all the specs on it, I won't be using it. It's just a bunch of mess in one device. And I don't mean mess in a disrespectful way, but I won't be using the stylus.
Right. Amen.
I won't be using the hand swipe to take a
Never.
picture.
Nope.
I won't be waving my hand on it to see a notification. You know, I won't be using the talk to the speech or you know, I won't be using none of that stuff.
Nobody's
So,
using
like,
S voice at all.
yeah, I mean,
Who's using that really?
I use Google search. I use Siri at times, you know. But at the end of the day, I just want simple. I feel if you're gonna get simple, either get an iPhone or get the phone that we're gonna talk about in a few minutes, where we haven't touched it yet. But
Oh man.
Charlie is right.
Okay, so let's finish up with the Note
Yeah.
because we got a lot of cover with Android. We oh my
Okay.
dude, this is not going on iTunes. We just gotta take the hit with that. You just gotta watch the video.
But yeah, I mean, Google is just Samsung is like I said, is a beautiful phone. It will always be a beautiful phone, but it's just too much, way too much for that phone. And I feel that me personally, I won't be using all that stuff in it. I just won't, and I don't see the point. It's fun to have.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's fun to have if you just now coming in the Android and you want something new and you want to feel refreshed.
Mm-hmm.
Get it. I had the Note 3. It's a banging phone. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you feel like you're not going to be using all that stuff, just dummy it down and get you a simple phone. And you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I just won't be purchasing it. I would, but on a recent announcement, I won't be getting it.
Oh wait, okay, okay.
My mind is set.
Yeah.
Set, and I'm getting it.
Yeah. So, I still gotta finish up with the Note. I know you were trying to yank that sucker out. we gave Apple all that love. We just can't do Samsung like that, man.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So
Man,
he was like, man, F this.
it's like, dude, it's like on the edge. It's on the edge.
Yeah, I feel you. So here's the thing. I too. There's this. We got one more phone to get to before we get to the phone you're talking about. Okay,
Yes.
but we got the Note. People love it. Advertising. People love it. People know it. If it's not these days, this year, if it's not the Note, it's the iPhone. Nothing in between. You got not the Galaxy S. They don't look. No. They don't care about the Galaxy S.
Hmm.
They'll say, is that a Note you have? Because first they had the small phone and everything bigger than this phone. They kind of mistaken it for a Note because it was substantially bigger.
Right.
It was 4 inches. The Galaxy S5 was 5.23.
5.3. No.
5.2.
What?
I think they
Note
kept it at 5.2.
Note 3.
No, the Galaxy S5. I think it's at
5.2. 5.2.
5.2. Yeah. So that's substantially larger than the phone that they were using. So they're like, is that a Note? Because that's what they hear people talking about. But people want the Note, but people are scared to get the Note because it's too big. And they were like,
Right.
what are we gonna do? I don't know. And like, I gotta keep it for 2 years or more. What if I don't like it? What if it's too big? Guess what? That happened to me. That phone was too big. I was like, you know the conversations I had with you, and I have conversations with a lot of people. Like,
Hmm.
you had a phone that big, you had no privacy. Like, people would come up behind you, they're not even the type of person that reads your stuff,
Hmm.
but they can see it. And then if they can see it, and it catches their eye,
Right.
how are they going to turn away? So that was the problem for me with the Note 2 that I had. It was big, useful, and utility, but privacy, dude. Oh man, none. You had none. So people like that were scared. So they were like, I want the Note. I'm scared of the Note. You got the Note? Is that a Note? I wanted a Note, but I got an iPhone because I'm scared to get the Note. What if it's too big? What if it don't do that clicky thing that I like? What if it don't do the simple stuff? I see it does all that stuff like you wave your hand to deny and answer the phone, but what if that don't work in front of my iPhone friends? And then what if they laugh at me because the technology that they promoted on the commercial is cool and I used but it didn't work. I had a lot of Android fails in my day, so that's why I'm saying that. And they were like, your phone doesn't work. The cool thing is not cool because it don't work. I
Right.
had that happen. And then they're like, I don't want to go through that.
Or stutter, or it'll stutter on you
They were scared.
because you had a lot going on that phone, so it stuttered a lot, and even I
It
would get
did.
frustrated. It would freeze,
Yep.
and when it would freeze, it would you had to take the battery out,
Yep.
or if you try to cut the power off, you can't cut the power off because the phone is frozen.
Yep.
So I'm just like, dude, and let me just say, there have been some cases on this phone right here where it will lock up on me, it will freeze, and
Yep.
I can't shut it off because you can't take the battery out, and I would just have to wait.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying,
Mhm.
oh, all Android and Google have problems. Oh, iPhone got problems too now. Let me just say.
I
Let me
had
just
a,
say.
I had an enterprise application that we use, and it's supposed to have a iPhone and Android app. Well, I went to download the iPhone app. This is for work purposes. I was like, man, I want to use this app. When I downloaded it, the iPhone just got hot, drained battery like the Dickens, and
Mhm.
then like the next moment I know, I'm holding it, and this thing is hot.
Mhm.
And I was holding it, trying to press it down. Dude, it took me 3 minutes to cut it off.
Right. Yeah. Mhm.
And I believe it died before I actually cut it off because the battery was going down that fast. And I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous.
But since the update, I haven't had any problems with it.
Okay,
I
so
can I
yeah,
can I can I can honestly say that since this update, I have not had any problems at all whatsoever.
I'll try it again then.
So
That
yeah.
that was that was crazy. But stuff like that, fails and crazy stuff. They were scared to get the note. They wanted the note, but Apple gave them their note. Apple gave them their note without the stylus.
Right.
Just like Android Wear, where they didn't come out with the Apple Watch yet, but they already got it in your knowledge base. So I walk around with the Samsung Gear Live, but just because it's square, like I went home. I was home this past week and visited like coworkers there, and dude was like, "Is this an Android watch? I mean, is this an Apple Watch?" I'm like,
Wow.
I'm like, no, dude. Like, this not even on the market, and they already have it in your mind that whatever you see from Android is probably ours. So you're just gonna automatically assume because guess what? There's no freaking commercials for Android Wear.
Certainly not at all. But soon as Apple dropped their iWatch, I'm sorry, Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
Next year, probably I'll, I'm saying February, March,
I'm saying March. They were gonna
when
wait till
they
the
drop
last
their
minute.
phone, when they
Yeah.
drop these watches. I can promise you, the promotion, the marketing is going to be off the chain. That's
Guaranteed.
all you're going to be seeing.
Hmm.
And everybody's gonna flip out and like, I gotta get one. I don't know how Apple does, dude. It's crazy.
They're a genius.
I
I
don't know how
mean,
Apple does it. It's like watching them little squiggly lines on a like hypnotizing, like hypnosis,
yep.
and you're watching those little circles going. You're watching that circle going around. And it's like
Yep.
buy an iPhone.
I don't know if you ever have you ever listened to or read the I think it was Walter Isaacson's Jobs, that book.
No.
That book, I tell you now, that book is, and I listened to a couple of audiobooks. The Hunger Games didn't do it for me. What
Did
is
you
it?
say the Hunger Games?
The Hunger Games sucks.
Oh,
But I tried. The Hunger Games didn't do it for me. What it was the other World War Z, terrible book, great movie. Thank you, Brad Pitt, for making that a better movie than a book. But that sucked. But I listen. I would. It's a biography about a guy that died, and then it's about his life. But these books are about fiction, that the other books that I mentioned. You would think that this will be a snooze fest for me because it's so factual.
hmm.
The story of his life is amazing. I don't care about Jobs the movie. I saw that sucked. But don't take that. Listen or read the book. Steve Jobs' life is totally epic. He is, and I'm going to say some crazy stuff. This is going to be controversial right here, this mobile world. Steve Jobs was to technology as civil rights was to Martin Luther King Jr. He created a culture. He is iconic. His name will live in history books forever for what he did to technology. Because you didn't have to lug around that back in the day CD player that you couldn't clip to anything, but it's a portable CD player. Guess what Steve Jobs did? He made something to where it wouldn't bounce around. You had anti-shock, but the anti-shock didn't work. And then you had to physically carry these CD players in your hand. He created something, the idea to have something in your pocket, which was cool. It was better than the Walkman. It had the sound quality of a CD. But guess what? It was awesome. He had that. He is iconic. And whatever he said was Bible. And people are still living off of that. His life, the way that he had a relationship with Bill Gates. Everyone out there, if you're listening to the show, if you watched it up to this point, thank you, because we are awesome right now, dude. Read that book. It will change your life. It changed my whole aspect of thinking about corporate America. It put me in tune. It made me understand things. It was entertaining because he was a character, and it makes you feel smarter because you learn so much from his story. You learn so much about technology that I thought I knew, but I felt like a remedial person. And then I went in and dude, this book is amazing. So do that. Jobs, Walter Isaacson. Steve Jobs still has them, and Apple is still living off of what Steve Jobs has built.
Hmm.
That people are still buying into BS. They don't watch the announcements. You think normal people watch Apple keynotes?
No, because it's boring.
Exactly. They are boring, but we watch it because we want the information.
No, I don't watch it. I watch the the YouTube clips, the little 2 minute, 3 minute, because that's all you getting out of me. I'm not gonna sit there and watch an hour to 2 hours of a release of the iPad Air 2 or the iPad Mini 3. I'm not doing that.
I'm,
I watch a little 2 minute release and then that's it. I go
so
about my business.
so how bad is it that I'm used to boring? I'm not gonna say that, but that it's very corporate. You know,
Hmm.
it's not you got great information, but you know, I guess it was like if regular people will feel like they're dragged into a business meeting, not something that was cool news. What the
Right.
snippets give you, oh, like that's cool, but everything else is like about the business, you know. So it's too serious. The podcasts are too serious, so nobody's watching that. They hear about word of mouth, so they don't know about the specs. People don't freaking care about the specs. If they mention on a dang show, they're gonna get it. If the, if if you're in if you're a soccer mom, if
Hmm.
you're a business dude, if you are just a dude in the street, you could somebody's going the next day. Somebody's gonna be like, "Hey man, did you hear about that new iPhone? Did you hear about, man? I heard it's gonna be 13 inches." Until you hear the truth, be like, man, it ain't gonna be that big though, but I'ma still get it. You
Right.
know? I know my cousin gonna get it, right?
Right.
Man, my cousin ain't got no job, but she gonna get it. She sure
Dude,
with the iPhone.
let me share some with these people real quick. Do you do do y'all realize how influential Apple is, or these iPhones are? Reason why I say that
Yeah.
is because, do you know, and this is a fact, that the social world revolves around iPhones? Reason why I say
Yeah, it
because
does.
when, like, say if I have an iPhone and someone else has an iPhone whom I don't know or whom I've never met,
Mm-hmm.
they click faster. They're more sociable toward. They're more drawn to each other, and it's weird because if I have an iPhone and you have an iPhone and we iMessage each other, that makes us close. But if I have an iPhone, you have an Android, and I message you, and you don't have iMessage, and your bubble doesn't turn blue, because people, if you have an iPhone and your messages turn blue, we both know we have iPhones, so we gonna get along real good. But
Yeah, I didn't notice that until I got
it's
the
weird.
iPhone.
But
Yeah.
if I message you and you message me back and it pops up green, that lets me know that you have a regular phone, a regular Android phone. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to talk to you no more because we don't have anything to talk about.
Just like BlackBerry. Just like
Thank
BlackBerry
you.
Messenger.
And
That
you know people,
that.
a dude at work told me that. He said, you know what? If you didn't have an iPhone and I have an iPhone and you message me back and that thing come back green, I'm not going to talk to you no more. But and I looked at him like he was
That's
crazy.
funny.
I probably would have body slammed him, but whatever.
That's
What I'm
crazy.
the point I'm making is it's crazy that people are like that. These people, ladies and gentlemen, these people are real. They are real Apple fanboys. Last night I was on a game online. My man was like, "Hey, you got an iPhone?" I was like, "Yeah." All right. Now we good. Now let me get your number. I was scared. If I had an Android, I would be scared if I had an Android. If I would have said no, he probably would have cut me off. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
right.
Like, it's
Just
just weird. It's really weird, man. It's
yeah.
really weird.
Oh man. So here's the great thing, man. If you're staying with us, people, please stay with. We're dropping some knowledge tonight, dude. What are we on? I don't know, but dude, we are dropping knowledge tonight. Thank you if you are staying with us. I'm talking like we're on a telethon, but if you're staying with us, but we are dropping knowledge. Dude, we gotta hurry up though. We gotta hurry
Yeah,
up. All
yeah.
right. So the note. Uh, um, yay, nay, buy, suggest.
Um, I give it a yay. I give it a yay. I give it a yay. I'm not, like I said, I'm not too hip on all the mess that's going on inside
Mhm.
because I'm more simple and not using not using everything. You could cut everything off, but the thing is, it's like it's still a lot going on up there. You know what I'm saying? It's still a lot going on, and the updates, you're not getting the updates on time
Mhm.
or whatever. The update will come out tomorrow, and you won't get the update till July 2015, if that. So that's just the way Samsung work, you know. So yeah, I give it a yay. Apple iPhone 6 Plus, iPhone 6, nope, yay. I give them all three yays. So They get
You got to. I mean, it's so similar now.
Yeah,
So,
it's all up to the person and what you want to do. If you want complex, go for Note. If you want simplicity and favor to you, get an iPhone. No,
or or or
or
if
what?
if you want to stay on Android and you want simplicity, you get one object, and if you bought this object early before you heard about the other, that is the bigger object, then you feel like crap, and then you got to make life decisions.
Yeah, y'all. I made Charlie feel like boo boo yesterday. I really did. I made him feel bad yesterday. The Moto X 2014 edition. You might as well tell him about it.
I'm telling you, this is what you've been waiting for, people. I did a poll today, and you'll be so surprised. We'll touch on that a little bit later. We got to run through it, but I'm going to run through this fast. I told you I was going to do a review. I'm going to run through this fast. So, 2013's version, I loved it. It was one of the best phones that I've used. No hiccups, no major problems. Especially, I'm surprised by Motorola. I usually have problems, but this phone was made like a tank. It was durable. It was elegant. Feeling for a plastic phone, that is, but it was ergonomically sound. It made total sense by using it with one hand. Surprisingly, it was 4.7 inches, but had the same footprint as the iPhone 5S. It was compact. People loved it. The features, the basic, the touchless control features, the active display that you can see without picking up the phone and give voice commands without touching the phone. All that we talk about, us nerds talk about in Android Wear. This stuff was already baked into the Moto X, and people loved it. It was the phone of the year of 2013, but it was the unsung hero because Samsung still got the love because of popularity. But quality-wise, ease of use, updates galore. This bad boy of last year, 2013, got all of that. It was the carrier version of the Nexus. Oh, that is a bold statement, but it got the update for 4.4.4 earlier than some of the Nexus 5s. Eat it on Verizon. Eat it on Verizon. Eat it on Verizon. Eat it. And that, my friends, was the 13 version. Now this here, I sound like a salesman. This here, this is a 5.2-inch phone, larger. And when I first heard about it, I'm like, heck no, man. What the heck? That's what I loved about the Moto X. It was small and compact. This is a large phone now. It is borderline. It is the same size as the Galaxy S5. So we're in that territory. So it got bigger. I got pissed off. I'm like, I'm still gonna get it. And then because I know it's gonna get the updates, stuff like that. So I was like, the camera's probably gonna suck, but whatever. I got an iPhone. And then, if it really comes down to it, I'll use the iPhone. But I was like, yes, it get updates, and it's durable, and it's dependable. And I was like, this bad boy here has around the borders, the sides and the tops, metal. Last year's was plastic. This has the same type of ergonomics, but just bigger. People complained about this dimple, but it was a lot smaller on the 13 version, but people say it's just too big. It's slippery. For some reason, it just feels more natural, like my finger doesn't get sweaty under it like the other one did, or feel too dry because the soft touch back was whatever,
How's the
conditioned.
camera on it?
The camera is night and day. I'm not going to say Samsung grade, but there was a low expectation from the Moto X,
Hmm.
which was in turn better than the HTC One M7. I
Hmm.
don't even know about the M8. That M7 pissed me off so bad. Whatever, don't even care about it. People, I tried to work that camera. You cannot save it.
Because you know I care about the camera and updates.
Yes. Well,
So
this look. I asked Phil Nickinson. He said the Moto X 2014, and it has been official that they will get Android L soon. Now, soon is a loose term, but based off of the update schedule with the Moto X first one, I'm going to assume that they're going to keep on with the best practice before Lenovo takes over them. So let's get it in now, because when the Google acquisition is totally over, Lenovo takes over. Google ain't straight into this, so this might be the last. Ooh, wait, did I think of something? Maybe the last Moto model that you can legitimately get and people still buy, because people were dude, this is serious. So this can shoot 4K. This is a 16 gig, so I don't know why they put 4K on here on a 16 gig, because that 4K file is freaking huge. They got 64 gig, which I might take this back for, which makes more feasible if you have 4K technology on there.
Right.
But from what I
So
see,
that's a 16 gig you have, or
this 16, yeah.
okay,
So 10 gigs of use between apps and all that.
right.
13 megapixel camera, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. I must say I'm not disappointed. I took a couple of Instagram pictures and I see a drastic difference. With the mix of, it's a crazy mix though, because it's hard to tell how great the camera is. This is the weird part. 720p screen on the Moto X 2013. And it was good display, but it was still 720p when everybody was upgrading to 1080p. And then the camera wasn't all that, so you psychologically you're thinking, okay, this is a good camera for this display. I looked at the Instagram photos; it's a lot sharper, a lot more depth to it. So I'm not sure if it's just this has a better screen. This has a 1080p screen too, so it's hard to tell if it's the conjunction of the camera and the screen, or the camera is doing the heavy lifting, which I'm trying to say. So it's good if you're looking at it on the phone. I said all that. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry. Good phone. Battery life. I'm in the dead zone at work. I can't honestly say if it's bad battery life. Other people are reporting 12 hours. That's some BS if you ask me. Not that they're BSing, but that's some BS if that's what they're getting. That sucks. I hope that I'll test it out this weekend, because I just got it this week. But I'll test it out this weekend where I'm not in a dead zone. I'm going to see how long I get it from morning till night.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be an accurate test. I'll use it normally. Got Android Wear, whatever. So I'll report back with that, people. And yeah, I mean, it's a nice phone. Now, the phone that we heard about, which detoured you straight from the Note 4.
Yes, I mean, it really did. It really did.
It makes me want to take this back, which I have to do too many loopholes. I might not even do it. I might not even do it. But the behemoth, the big elephant in the room, at the opposite side of the iPhone 6 Plus, which is 5.5 inches. We got a Shamu here.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
The iPhone 6 Plus, 5.5.
Oh, five.
Yeah,
Yeah, 5.5.
Yep.
Okay. Note is 5.7.
Yeah. So you got the Note is still big, but you remember you said earlier about Samsung and Google and the whole thing about making big phones. They make it, but you notice that Samsung's kind of trying to go to Tizen. They had a little thing. They had a little skirmish between Samsung and Google. And then they had because they own a manufacturing company in Motorola that they were coming out with devices for, so Samsung felt betrayed. But here's the thing. The Nexus 6 was announced as a Motorola-made phone. Finally, all these years since the inception of the Nexus program, we finally get a Motorola Nexus. We can stop saying that the OG Droid was the Motorola Nexus. We can stop saying that. We actually are going to have a Motorola Nexus finally, and what they do, they spit right in Samsung and Apple's face. They're like, "F both of y'all, we're going out with a bang before we give it to Lenovo. We got a 6-inch phone, bitch,
Pretty much.
with baller specs."
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh man. So let's go. We don't do hardcore specs on the show. If you haven't realized by now, we give life association with our technology. We break it down with really what it means to you in a on a daily basis. But so the Nexus 6 lives up to his name, is 6 inches, on-screen buttons, which essentially take up, and I'm putting this perspective, it takes up zero point 0.2 inches of the entire diameter of the phone, um, which makes it essentially the same size as most everyday use as the Note 4. Until you get to media like pictures and video, then that on-screen buttons disappear, and you got the full 5.9.7-inch display. Now, this is crazy, but I guess, baller specs. What is it? A 13 or 16 megapixel camera? Do you know?
13.
13. So it's supposed to have essentially the same camera as this. Note 4 still has a better camera at 16 megapixel. It's just gonna be big. It has I can't confirm it yet, but I'm sure they're not gonna have the Moto X processors to where it does the features like all these. You can't see it because of the black, but on the white you can see the sensors around here for the way you can wave over it in the display. It's not going to have any of that in it. So it's going to be a stripped down, higher spec, better screen resolution Moto X, which is a Nexus, which is not carrier branded in terms of Moto X. So this is the daddy 6-inch, which how do you feel about this now? Is it a blown up Moto X, or can it contend with the Note because you don't have the split screen like Samsung? You can't use this like a big phone. Even the 6 Plus has like some type of tablet orientations for apps to help you better, but the Nexus is not. I don't believe. Do you? What do you think?
What? Did you just say? Did you just say that it it can't compete with the Note or the iPhone?
I didn't say that.
That's where
I
you go. That's where you're leading to. I mean, be real, brother. I mean,
No. What I'm saying is when why is it big? Why is it big? My question. The,
I feel it's big is because if you haven't realized it, and I'm sure you have, that people have been complaining that the Nexus device should have been bigger.
they have.
They have been see,
Now they're complaining that it's too big.
you're
The
not
same
gonna
people.
you're not dude, it's like the weather. People say it's too hot, people say it's too cold. When it all boils down to it, you're not gonna be able to please anyone. But I can guarantee you this. People will buy that phone.
I hope so.
I'm just saying. People are gonna buy the phone.
They have to. You know what Google went through to make this more appealing to people? To put it in every carrier store the first time? The first time ever in every carrier store.
In years.
Yeah, every carrier store.
And I, for one, will be getting this phone.
So they had to raise the price. The faithfuls are like, this phone is twice the price, but it's still, guess what? It's still
Dude,
less than the comparable models, like the size and the tech. It's less
dude,
still.
$649 off contract. You got a 32 and a 64 gig models. You got a 3200 milliamp battery, which can last just as long as the Note 4 and can last longer than the iPhone 6 Plus. So, if you think about it, with all these specs and the 805 chip and the HD quad core. Come on, man. You're looking for you're looking at the price that we're supposed to be looking at. You're not looking at a cheap phone. You're not looking at an overly expensive phone. You're looking at a phone that can compete with these two other phones. It's the middle. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
the middle phone. It's not it's not Samsung and it's not iPhone or it's not Apple.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Nexus. This is Google's phone,
Mm-hmm.
and it's their flagship. It's their baby. The reason why I say that is because they're coming out with the brand new Android L software, Lollipop. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
you've sent me videos on Android L before it was ever released or ever shown. I want to say it was in beta form then.
I just want to say about Android L. I'm not as hyped over Android L as most people seem to be.
Mhm.
It seems good, but I'm not like eating the cake yet or drinking the Kool-Aid yet with that.
I'm not drinking it. I'm not drinking it either. The only reason why I say I'm anticipating for this phone to be good and to come out so I can get my hands on it is because I've lived the iPhone world, I've lived Samsung world, and I've only had the Samsung Nexus for a very short period of time, a very short period because you and I both had it, and you and I both have issues with it. But you had yours way longer than I had mine. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
I think that it will help me solve my simplicity and solve my phablet feed. You know what I mean? Because when you think of Android, you think of freedom. You think of being able to do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Without having to try to go around being locked up in a service that you can't get around. You feel like you have to jailbreak it, or you feel like you have to root. Because believe it or not, people are going to root these devices anyway. They're going to root the Nexus because they want to run CyanogenMod. So get a CyanogenMod phone. They
Yeah,
got a phone.
get the One Plus. Yeah.
They got that phone, and
I heard it's awesome.
that phone is a beast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's big. It's the same size as the iPhone 6 Plus. So
Big ass phone.
um, it got some power underneath that hood in that Nexus 6. It has some power, and
It
the
does.
Nexus 9 has even bigger specs underneath the hood. So this,
HTC returns, yeah.
yeah,
We were
this
wondering when they
thing,
were ever gonna make a tablet. Like, dude,
dude, they came back. They came back with a vengeance, man.
we do have to see how the performance is, though. I mean, this can bring this tablet right here because of people. The purists again. The purists don't want the Nexus 9. They don't want the 9-inch tablet. But I'll tell you why Google did it. iPad Mini. They were like, let's get the same size, but dude, let's keep it right. It's not too big, it's not too small.
Right.
Let's get this and not make the Nexus 7 or Nexus 10. So they were like, yeah, let's do this. To go into it, and we still have to see as much good as hardware as we get from HTC. There's something always about there's always something that makes you shake your head. And dude, I don't know if they went balls to the wall with this or if they left something on the table, but they have historically been that one mistake pony that kills it. Like the M8, the M7 should have sold just as many phones as the Samsung Galaxy S4 and 5. But the stupid camera killed it. That. Who? Like, really? And now you're making a phone specifically for selfies? Really? Really, HTC? Really? Dude, really? But I was wondering why you weren't talking, but glad we got you back, Carol. But you got to think about like the whole aspect. Will they fail at this, even though Android has the control over it, or will they find somehow a way to kill or shoot themselves in the foot? That's what we got to think about. Now, it is expect to be a great phone, a great tablet. It is expect to be a great tablet. We got 2K you know, Apple got me seeing go, but it's expect to be a great tablet. But I mean, at the end of the day, HTC, great hardware, great specs. We gotta see how it turns out. It might be battery might suck ass. I don't know. We are gonna see. I almost lost my voice talking until you got back on, man. I wasn't
No,
ready.
man, that I'm sorry, man. Look, I don't know what's going on, but we gonna go ahead and pretend. We're gonna try to pretend that never happened. But something about the PC ran into technical difficulties, so I had to jump on it real quick, bro. I had to jump on it real quick and go mobile on you.
Oh man, no problem. Still got to you. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could kick one of y'all. Hold on. Stand still. I could eject them. Hold on. Boom. Oh
Uh,
wait. Eject. Boom. Out of
all
there.
right, we
All right.
good.
Woo. Man, that was gonna wear me out. So, so, so we got the Nexus 9. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm I love so the Nexus 7 2012.
12,
This is
12.
supposed to get lollipop. I have no reason to upgrade.
And it
None.
was the other. It was the and that's the only. Uh, that and the Nexus 10 is supposed to get it too, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the Nexus 10
And the
and
Nexus 7 2012 edition. They're the only two that's getting it.
the 12 and 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I agree with you. I want to see how these things run, but my I think I'm confident to say that they're gonna be they're gonna be able to go toe to toe. But at the same time, you cannot compare it with Apple or Samsung because all three of these things are different. None of them are the same. They're all different. And that's where people get it confused at because they try to put Apple and Samsung against each other, but you can't. It's two different worlds. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's like trying to put a BMW against a Mercedes. Different. A BMW against a Honda. Different. You can't do that. You can't. It's quality over
Crap.
premium. Well, I would say Apple is premium, and I would give Samsung quality maybe. I don't know. I might be
Hmm.
a little off on that, but whatever.
It comes down to personal preference.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly right.
you can't have. I mean, you have to have opposing designers too. I mean, you
Hmm.
have to have opposing everything. Like somebody has to have a rival. Competition is peaks success and innovation. So we have to have Google and Apple, in whatever way that they can, be competitive. Because see what happened with Apple and Microsoft. It boosted both of them, and then there's still really high money makers.
Right.
Coke and Pepsi, look at that. They're still the best because they're big boys. They're going at it. So you think about it from that aspect. We need these two to be successful.
Hmm.
So the fanboyism with the iPhone blah 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 and Android's crap. You don't do that. No, we don't want to kill. I mean, that killed BlackBerry.
Yeah.
We don't want to kill Android. Like BlackBerry still might make it back, not with that crap that they just came out with. The passbook or
Passport.
passport,
Yeah.
dude. No, no, no. What this really? This was in focus groups. You kidding me? So,
Amen.
I mean, they cannot. They need to come to Android. That's what's going to happen. They have to. I mean, but we need Google and Apple to stay up on things because of the innovation. We benefit all this. Now, my thing before we close up because we gotta close up. Cause dude, we're running on 2 hours.
God, man.
We
What you
gotta
doing?
close up with what are you doing? Oh, uh, it. I have the Moto X 2014. I took 2 polls on Google Plus. What for what reason would I have validated that I need to return the Moto X to get the Nexus 6?
Is that a rhetorical question or is that a real
That
question?
is a real question.
You want to
Straight
know
up.
why you got to turn that phone in and you get to the 6?
Why would I get the 6 if I have the X 2014?
You won't need to. That's your choice.
Like, would the size be that baller, knowing that I want a bigger phone, but have been proven to not be able to adapt to a bigger phone?
Right. Okay. I got you now. I'm with you now. Okay. When you had the Note 2, you were complaining that it was big because you were like, you were going through this little battle within yourself because at the time, I believe you were looking at the first Moto X. Um,
Yes.
okay, yeah, you were looking at the first Moto X. Man, I got a good memory. You were looking at the first Moto X, trying to pick between that and there was another phone you were looking at.
I eventually, oh man, sorry, I was drinking earlier. I eventually got the M8, and I took that back. I took
Right,
that back
and got the Moto
because the
X.
camera
So
sucked.
my thing is, and you and I are two different people. Why would you get a Nexus 6 knowing that it's 6 inches big? And just yesterday, you were complaining about the size of that phone, what you got right now.
It's kind of big. I
Right.
mean,
Okay. So
the
with that being said,
it's kind of big,
my friend, you answered your own question.
dude. I mean,
You're welcome.
so here's the crazy thing though. Here's the crazy thing. I had a Note 2, which is 5.5 inches at that
Right.
time,
Right.
and this is 5.2, and I'm
Okay.
like, I'm looking at this thing in the same manner like I looked at the Note 2, and it's point, you know, 3 inches more,
But it's
but
crazy. It's crazy because you and I are like, it's like we want the best. We want the number one. We want what's new,
what's
what's
new?
happening out there. You know what I'm saying?
But
So
this is so good though. But why
so
would
keep
I?
it.
Look, when I picked it up, and he took it out of the box, and I traded in my old Moto X. Moto X was unblemished, right out the box. Shine it up. But you can only shine it up so much because it's got the normal wear, but no scratches. But it just shine it up. The finger imprints are in there that won't wipe off anymore. You know,
Hmm.
you know that. And then you give it to them, and then they hand you this and these metal bands around here with how's the antenna? It was like the cold feel, and I'm like, ooh. And then this dimple is cold because it's metal. I'm like, ooh. And then I turned on the screen and it's 1080p and it's Super AMOLED. I'm like, ooh, this looks like my plasma TV. I like plasma.
Right.
I like plasma. High,
Yeah.
don't knock the plasma. Don't knock the plasma. That's
Whatever.
another show. That's another show.
Okay. Okay.
So
Personal preference.
yeah, it is personal preference. Yeah. But you you look at this phone and it's beautiful. Like it's like it's like the girl you liked in middle school, and then she got to high school, and you're like, "Ooh, okay, she was in my league last year, but I don't know about this year. I gotta think about that."
Right.
So it's that jump. Like you grew 4 inches over the summer, and you came back and people didn't recognize you, type thing. Like, whoa,
Hmm.
man, was you working out, dude? What? Was you in the gym the whole summer? And they felt like they were in the gym the whole summer. And they got the specs up, they got the display, the processor up, the quality of materials, and it won't bend because of these bad
Really?
boys. Oh,
Really?
sorry, that's what they said.
Really? Wow.
but but we haven't did a show since then. You know I had to hit it, but
Okay.
but this phone feels like 10 times better. But the Nexus 6 is made the same way, just without the dimple and the cool voice and touchless stuff. Why would I get it?
Okay. I mean, it's battery's bigger, camera's bigger.
Screen's
Or is
bigger.
it?
No,
Screen's bigger.
screen's bigger, so battery's bigger.
Got a got a
What
got a better processor in it.
does?
I mean, it's what's under the hood. That's what we're looking at. You know what I mean? That's we're looking at the under the hood. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're looking at a regular. It's like looking at a state trooper vehicle. We all know state troopers drive a Charger, but you don't know what's under the hood.
Exactly. But it doesn't matter what's under the hood as long as you optimize it right, which was Apple was doing. So is it the updates that don't worry about? Does it all
Yeah,
still come down to the updates? Like
yeah,
the
it
Moto X
does.
is going to get the update, but am I going
It
to feel like
does.
crap if somebody gets the Nexus and they get it 2 weeks before I do?
You can't say that because it's not that it's coming out 2 weeks. It's coming out with Android 5.0 out of the box.
It's
We're
coming out.
talking
Yeah,
out of the box
out of the box.
5.0.
Out of the
So
box on
how
release.
long how long will you be waiting? Who knows?
I'm sure it's not going to come on launch day, or at least a couple of weeks, so people can buy the Nexus 6 and not the Moto X. So
Can I say?
they're
Let me
probably
see,
not going to get the update for a while. That's
and
crazy.
let me say this. Now, it's like you have to go back to Apple once again. When when the iPhone 6 came out, tell me why the same day those phones came out, Android 8.0 dropped.
Well, you know,
Why can't Google do that? Why can't Google do that?
it is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean,
It's
you gotta appreciate how they do it, how they do things.
I've been trying to figure it out for years. Trust me.
You were just venting on will you get that update the same time the Nexus 6 come out, but they're
You
not
don't?
Apple. Yeah, they're not Apple. So whatever, man. It is what it is.
So I would technically have to return this phone. And to be honest, I don't even know that there is no solid launch day, so I can keep returning phones and like
There
spinning.
there is
There is. What is it?
November 3rd.
November 3rd.
Yes.
So I heard that before, but I also heard the Nexus 9 was November 3rd. So is it is the Nexus gonna be on the carriers November 3rd in store?
See, the thing is, the pre-orders for the Nexus 9 started today.
Mm-hmm.
The pre-orders for the Nexus 6 is the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say November 3rd for both of them. Why would you put a tablet out but not the phone for the same day?
I mean,
It doesn't make sense.
they don't even do that with the iPhone and the iPad.
Exactly.
They
It
don't
doesn't make
do-
sense. It
But
doesn't make sense.
but I don't know. I mean, what if I keep returning the phones? That's asinine. Just to get another phone.
Yeah.
Like I might have to stick with it. But I mean, and
When it all comes down to it, dude, you're going to get the update. Plain and simple.
am I so entrenched in it to where I don't really, like I said earlier, it doesn't impress me, but well, I still feel left out.
Yeah, because you still want it. You sit here, you try to act, I'll be all right. I don't really need it. But deep down inside, in the back of your mind, you're going to be like, Karon got that 5.0, and I'm sitting here on 4.4. Huh.
Man, you're gonna get that next one.
Exactly.
you see how my lip just trembled.
Yeah, man.
Man,
That's why. That's why I
you
stopped.
go get that Nexus.
That's exactly how it's gonna be, man. So I mean,
I'm gonna hate you
what
for a week. I swear.
will I like it? I don't know. Will I not like it? I don't know. But
I
I
mean,
just
you
feel
can
that
always take it back, please.
hey, that 15, 14 day turn in release. I'll eat that 75. I'll eat that $50
Yep.
restocking fee. I'll eat that 50. Don't matter to me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if I don't like it in 3 days, I can take it back.
Yep. No, all that. All right, so let's wrap up. So
Okay.
we covered a lot.
Yes, we did.
I think we'll touch more on Android 5.0 when we actually have it in hand because we don't. So we
Right.
can just talk about what they
Mm,
talked about on millions of other blogs, but that's not what we do.
no, we let them do that.
Yeah, we let them do that, and we break it down for you like you're not reading a spec sheet. We are actually we don't have any agenda. We don't have any paid agenda. We're not sponsored. We just tell you normal folk how it is in that field.
Right.
You know, on Facebook, it's treacherous.
Facebook,
Um,
Twitter, whatever.
oh, it's war, man. So we tell you how we operate everyday life, what we see, and we don't have any bias because we're not traditional journalists. We just a couple
No.
of dudes that tell our opinion.
Hmm.
Um, and hopefully it resonates with you. It makes sense to you rather than you feel like there's some type of agenda push to you to make you buy into something like it is on media or regular media, on
Hmm.
TV. So we're here to give our opinion, unfiltered, because I'm the one that cursed and you're the one that doesn't, and
Well, I no, 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 I do. But I see the difference between us is I have young ears around.
so he's
So,
a potty mouth, but he's being a good father.
right, thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, I
He's not
appreciate that.
Adrian. Hey, he's not Adrian Peterson.
Exactly.
Too
I
soon.
appreciate that.
Too soon.
I see. Yeah, I do have a potty mouth. I do have a potty mouth, but
Yeah,
it's the kids, brother. It's the kids.
the kids, man. All right. So let's wrap it up. We'll get to Android Lollipop soon.
Hmm.
I think we gone a long time, and we have discussed a lot.
A
I, th-
lot.
I think we dropped major. I don't even know if we can replicate that stream of knowledge that we pushed. But I hope that you tell your friends about this show because what we do here, and I thought about this coming up the stairs tonight. Weirdly enough, um, we are not that Marcus Brownlee. Like one of my friends told me that, the Moto X unboxing video, which I have, um, is not about specs, but they wanted specs. But it was a great. He's like, Marcus Brownlee. I'm like, I'm not. He's great. I do not want to compete with Marcus Brownlee.
Yeah, he a cool dude, man. I like him. He a
He's
cool
cool.
dude,
I
man.
will I will not take your viewers, dude. I will not do that because, dude, you gotta stay on. You gotta make that money,
Yeah.
and you gotta keep giving us good product. I'm not trying to compete with him. I am just a normal dude with I have a career, and he is in college. He's making his career right now. This is his
Hmm.
bread and butter. I'm not
Journalism,
trying.
man.
I'm not trying to be him. No, I'm
Hmm.
not trying to be him. I was giving my flavor as a normal guy. No, not every day do blah blah blah. This is my hobby. This is his moneymaker. I We are here giving our opinion. You know, and we're not all about specs. I mean, you can find specs everywhere.
You can read about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can read
look at
about it.
them. Every blogger has to read other people's specs that they posted. That's how they publish it. They
Right.
they look at it and they rewrite it. That's how the blogs work. And we're not about regurgitating that knowledge that you've already had. You just want to see what other people are talking about and how they feel about it without throwing numbers at you all the time.
Hmm.
That's what we're here for. This mobile world. I mean, we broke it down. Like I think if I don't know if it will ever reach 1 million hits, but if we do, dude, imagine the realness that we just dropped. They won't let it happen. They won't let it happen. As much as I love Google, if somebody in Google hears what we had to say, they were like, they found us out.
Oh man, go ahead.
I mean, we dropped out. If Apple looks at it, it'd be like, dang, how they know we is infiltrating? We playing divide and conquer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
but
be alright though.
yeah, we'll be all right. I mean, what are they gonna do?
No.
Exactly. You gonna do sue me? Here you go. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, you ain't gonna take my phone though. You ain't gonna take my phone, Apple. I'm just telling you. Tell people where to look you up on social networks because you post all the good stuff and do a lot of research.
Yeah, man. Google Plus, Karon Brown. Twitter, at Kbrown SR20. Instagram, Clark Kent _30. Facebook, Karon Brown Senior, and that's pretty much how you'll find me, man. You know, this brother here is falling asleep on the doggone air. How in the world you do that? Man, let the people go, man. Let the people go.
Dude, I mean, look, I was drinking earlier. Sorry. I
No,
mean,
you
I'm getting old. It's past my bedtime,
Oh,
technically.
stop it.
Shut up.
Stop.
I mean, anyway. Oh, so you can find me. Technically, if you're watching the video, you already found me. Thank you. Just add me. Tell your friends about me. Don't worry about finding me on Facebook. You already got my name. I mean, you can find me. It's the same name, Charlie Maverick Smith. You can find me anywhere. But I'm just saying, you don't have to friend me on Facebook because I don't want that awkward feeling of like having to ignore you and then you follow me on Google Plus and you're like, hey man, when you going to accept my request? And I'll be like, what request? The one when I sent you. Now it's gonna be all awkward. So
Well, everybody, if you look for me, I'll accept. I accept everybody. It don't matter. If I don't know you, just talk. Just say something. Just say hi. Trust me. I'm gonna say hi back. I promise you. I'll say hi back.
So I gotta like recant that because you gonna make me feel like I'm the asshole. And
Hey.
friend me, I'll add you, but don't be like, hey, I know you from high school and when you grew up in Ohio. I didn't grow up in Ohio, so that didn't happen. But I mean it happens. Didn't happen to me, but it could. And I'll be like, hey man, stop asking me that stupid stuff. You know, but yeah, find me on Twitter at the Mavcast, at the Mavcast. You know, Sunday night, I mean, we go in hard, totally, because of The Walking Dead. So you can see a lot of our best posts. You got to get back on Twitter, by the way. A lot of our crazy posts about stuff on there. You can watch.
Okay.
You know, so hey. Thanks for watching the show. Man, it's a long show. Sorry. But I hope you were educated, entertained, and enlightened. I think I stole that from somewhere. I am not that prolific right now. Karon, thank you.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Anytime. You know me. I'm here.
You know, I live in Atlanta. We playing the Ravens. I know you're a Ravens fan. So it ain't gonna be awkward for the people in Atlanta to be like, hey, you got a Ravens fan on your show. What you gonna do?
It don't matter. It don't matter. We gonna take that W. That's all I know. So you let the people know.
AT aliens. I'm sorry, but you know what I'm saying. Matt Ryan, he got to get that ball work. I'm just that ain't sound right.
All I know is the defense. The defense are coming. We coming. So don't even worry about that. We coming.
So, you know, I'm a Patriots fan, so I don't like Baltimore anyway. Whatever. Joe Flacco. What kind of name is Flacco? How are you successful and your last name is Flacco?
It don't matter.
Oh, he's either a cereal or a term for a deadbeat. Flacco.
Cut the tape.
I'll talk trash all night. All right. So thanks for watching. We finally signing off of this thing. Check us out next time on This Mobile World. Karon Brown. I am Charlie Maverick. Stuff Cackalack. Nice visit home last week. Sorry I missed you, dude. I gotta see you next time. Or when you
No
come
matter,
here,
man. We get up.
hit a brother
Yeah.
up. Because you be up
Yes,
in
sir.
town and you don't tell nobody. I'm just kidding.
Well, I was up in town. I told you I was in town that time, man.
Come on, man.
Oh, all right, whatever. Go.
Sheesh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Don't text me when you leaving down.
No, I text you when I'm coming, didn't I?
No. You said like a week before, yeah, I'm coming. And then that week I ain't hearing from you. But apparently you've been here.
So I was there. I was there, man. I was
All
there.
right. I was over it. But
Yeah, I'll be in town, man. For real. I'll be
all
in
right.
town.
So this Mobile World, where we try to find out why is your baby mama still drinking the baby milk that ew. Bye.